Welcome to the Empowerment Minute podcast. This is your podcast that equips you with practical tools, bold inspiration, and strategies on learning, leadership, coaching, and personal growth to help you thrive in the workplace and in life. I'm your host, Dr. Maurine Kwende. I help leaders and organizations put their dreams to flight as an executive leadership coach, speaker, facilitator, author, educator, learning leader, and CEO and founder of EMK Learning Solutions. I will be excited to support you in your leadership learning journey. So I want to welcome you back to another new episode of the Empowerment Minutes podcast. So this month we are focusing on the theme, set your dreams in motion, accelerate your second half with bold action. So today we're going to be looking at courage and comfort. So here's my question for you today. Are you leading from a place of courage or from comfort? The truth is, every bold dream and breakthrough lies on the other side of discomfort, whether you like it or not. But too often we settle for what feels safe instead of stepping into what's possible. In today's episode, we're going to talk about why courage, not comfort, is the fuel that you need to take bold steps towards your vision. So we know that this is the second half of the year and we have to be intentional about what we do. So today we'll be sharing practical strategies to help you stretch beyond your comfort zone and grow into the leader that you are meant to be. This concept is inspired by Dr. John Maxwell's law of the rubber band, which says growth stops when there is no longer tension between where you are and where you could be. If you're ready to stretch, grow, and lead boldly, let's dive in. So I'm going to get started with the law of the rubber band and why comfort really stalls growth. Imagine that you have a rubber band in your hand, sitting idling on the table. It doesn't do anything, right? Its value only shows when it's stretched, when it's used under tension. I remember doing my daughter's hair and into those pigtails, and I need to use those rubber bands to put her hair in those two sections, so that way it's all stretched out and it can, under tension, that's when you can really get it to serve its purpose. When I think about the rubber band, I can see how I can use it in so many other situations. What do you use the rubber band for? And would you agree that is best used when it's under tension? The same is true for us. As Dr. John Maxwell explains the rubber band, the law of the rubber band, it reminds us that tension is essential for growth. A rubber band is only useful when it's stretched. Similarly, leaders need to be challenged and pushed beyond their comfort zones to grow. Imagine if you're a leader, you're just doing things that you're familiar with, right? So you're not stretched, you're stagnant. Okay, so how do you go from that stagnant position, and to become an agile leader? You got to be able to embrace discomfort. So when you don't embrace discomfort, when you're used to staying in your own comfort zone, then you're getting complacent. In my book titled Dream Big and Live Your Dreams Boldly, complacency is one of the traps, right? The dream traps that hold leaders back. They're complacent. So they don't want to do, they don't want to get out of their comfort zone, right? They just want to stay with the things that they are familiar. So how are they going to grow? If you're not actively challenging or setting new goals, you're likely not growing. So life really begins at the end of your comfort zone. Real transformation, personally and professionally, only happen when you're willing to embrace discomfort and step into your unknown. Remember, if you know how to drive, remember the first time you drive a car? What about riding a bicycle? Was that comfortable to you? But are you able to drive now? Are you able to ride that bicycle now? Right. So if you do not embrace that discomfort, you will not be at a position where you are right now. So I want you to ask yourself, are you stretching yourself as a leader? Are you sitting like the rubber band on the table, intact, comfortable, but not fulfilling your potential? So what are some strategies that you can use to choose courage over comfort? Now that we have talked about some of the benefits of choosing choosing a courage. So what could you do? Number one, embrace discomfort as a sign of growth. Discomfort is a good thing when it comes to growing. Discomfort isn't a stop sign, it's a proof that you're stretching. When facing a bold step, ask yourself, what's the best thing that could happen? What will I gain if I embrace this challenge? The second strategy is about reconnecting with your why. Why are you a leader? Your vision is your anchor when fear rises. So write down, this is just a tip I'm sharing with you. Write down your bold vision. Read it every morning as a reminder of what courage is and what is worth. Write it down. You can save it on your phone as a screensaver to remind yourself when you're hesitant to take that bold step. Remind yourself, why are you doing this in the first place? What's your purpose? And you will be empowered to move forward. And so when it comes to taking acts of courage, I want to encourage you to start small, right? Remember when you were wanting to make that first recipe, baking that cake. When it was the first time you're wanting to, maybe get on an exercise, bike, right? You got to start small, right? Courage grows like a muscle. This week I want to, encourage you to identify one area where you're playing it safe. Whatever that area is, take a small, bold step, right? So maybe you're not delegating work. So maybe that bold step is to delegate, right? What is that one little step that you can take to start delegating the work that you are sitting in your comfort zone and deciding that you're going to just do it yourself? That what can you do to take that little bold step, right? What can you do to speak up or try something new? Okay, so fear is not really a bad thing. So another strategy is to start normalizing fear, right? And do it anyway. Do it afraid, right? Fear is a sign that you're doing something meaningful. I'm not saying, fear like you're putting your hand in the fire and you're getting burnt. I'm talking about fear, being afraid to try something new, right? So instead of asking, am I ready, or doubting yourself, stop telling yourself stories that do not exist. So ask yourself, what's one step that I can take even while feeling afraid? Okay, so think about your village. Are you surrounding yourself with bold leaders? Right? Courage is contagious. When you plant yourself in that environment with bold leaders, they can encourage you to move forward when you're doubting, right? And so that great leaders can see in you what you don't even see in yourself. So do you have a mentor? You can identify a mentor, a peer coach, like me or another coach, who can help you, who can model, who already models bold leadership. Reach out to them, asking them about a time they chose courage over comfort. How did they make it happen? And ask them to hold you accountable, right? And to take the next step. So here's your challenge this week. Identify one area where you've been choosing comfort over courage. Is it writing a book? Is it what is it? Write down one bold step you can take in the next 7 days. Even if it stretches you, journal about how it feels to act with courage. After 7 days, go through it and just read and just remind yourself what happened within you. Right? Remember, like a rubber band, your value grows in the stretch. So as I close today's episode, I want to thank you for tuning into the Empowerment Minutes podcast. This week, I challenge you to lean into discomfort and choose courage over comfort. That's where real growth begins. If this episode inspired you, share it with a friend and your coworker. Leave a review. I'd love to hear how you stretch yourself this week, right? And I want to also encourage you to share this episode with someone else so you can empower more leaders like you. Next time, we're going to talk about the Bold Leaders Blueprint, aligning vision, goals, and habits for success. Until then, keep dreaming big, keep leading boldly, and stretching towards your full potential. This is Dr. Maurine Kwende signing off. I'll see you same time next week. Have a great day.